You're listening to a Meldo Entertainment original podcast. Hey guys, and on today's session, I've got my beautiful assistant Lux, and we chat about my humble beginnings and how I got started in the industry, along with some pretty strange and funny stories. So enjoy. Hey guys, on today's show, I'm going to be probed. The tables are turned, and I've got my lovely assistant Lux with me, and who knows what will happen. I never know when I'm with you, really.
I'm Lux, and today I will be picking Mel's brain on anything and everything from the very beginning of her journey in this industry to the current point in time.
The current me.
Yes.
The many phases of Mel.
Yes.
That could be my biography, actually. That's good.
Podcasts are easier than writing a book.
Yeah, true. That's why I started this. Everyone was saying, Mel, you should write a book. And I'm like, I don't know how to string a sentence together.
I'll write an audio book. Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm just starting to do this. But I need Morgan Freeman to do it for me. I don't want to do it.
I don't know. I think he's a bit expensive.
Yeah, but he's like God. So then it would make me feel really proper. Anyway.
We are getting sidetracked.
We are.
So, with our very first question, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
What did you think of the sex industry before becoming a part of it?
I was actually a Baptist. So sex was a bad thing. You didn't do it till you were married. None of that shit. So I had no idea when I was 14 what even sex was. And I was sent some porn during high school. It would have been information technology class. We learned to touch type. And someone sent me some porn and said, this could be us. And I was like, okay. No, it won't be, because I'm getting married when I'm 18. And no, it won't be. I'm going to be a flower that is not going to be bloomed.
So once you started considering getting into that industry, did you have any internal conflicts or concern with your upbringing versus the industry you're going to step into?
Yeah, I did, because I was like, what are my parents going to think? But you know what? I was rebellious, so I was like, I don't even care. I want to be the enemy that because for those of you who don't know, I'm actually in a wheelchair. So I thought, I want to be the enemy without a wheelchair, without bullshit. I want to be who I feel. And many people didn't see me as the way I felt. So I thought the industry would bring that out in me for the bad or good. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Who knows?
I'd say if it's made you more yourself, then
I think so.
How can it be a bad thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's brought me out of my shell. Sure. So.
Yeah.
Because I used to be really quiet and polite and go, yes, please, and thank you. No, I don't want any of that. And now I'm like, get it to me.
So it's instilled a lot of confidence.
Yes. Yeah. Probably a bit much in some aspects, but yeah.
Where did you start your journey in the sex worker industry? What was your first kind of avenue that you dabbled in?
This is going to show my age.
Oh.
MySpace.
MySpace?
MySpace. You used to be able to follow all the porn stars. So in California was the porn sort of, they call it porn belly. Yeah. So you could follow everyone on MySpace. And so I just started following everybody. And I need to learn more about this industry because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I'll just follow these people and hopefully I'll,
See, I've grown up in the world of you follow people on Instagram.
Yeah, no.
I didn't even know MySpace was
a thing.
Group.
Before Instagram, see, I'm showing my age now. before Instagram, MySpace was the thing, and then Facebook, and then Instagram.
Yep. So how would people use MySpace to progress into porn?
So it's basically have you ever used MySpace?
Nope.
No.
I'm a 2000
So
baby.
yeah. So basically, you could have a wall or a profile, and people could comment on all your photos, but it was like a wall. So, but similar to Facebook, I suppose. But
so would that be used as an advertising platform, or would you be able to directly profit from MySpace?
So you could follow people and then message them and say, hey, I'm looking for work, or they'd approach you and say, hey, I've seen your photos. Are you interested in blah, blah? So, yeah, that's how it kind of happened for me. So I would ask questions of the people that I was following just to learn more, because I had no idea. So what I was brought up to do was to ask questions when you don't know something, just to be inquisitive. And so that's how I started. And Jenna Jameson was on there back in her prime, and so we followed each other. She never spoke to me, but I was like, Jenna's following me. So if you don't know who Jenna Jameson is, she was like the queen of porn for the 90s and the early 2000s. So, and she's still out there, but she's had a change of life at the moment. So, but that's cool. She's still doing her own thing. Anyway, so I was following her and a few others, and that's how I got to know people and started.
So from there, did you go into a more porn-based avenue or an escorting, or?
I had to think what would be realistic with my disability. So I thought, well, I can't strip, because that's what I wanted to do. I want to be tied to a pole and have money thrown at me. I still want to do that. So, hey, you work for me now, so bring that on.
We'll work out a way to
bring that on. Bring that shit happen. But yeah, so I had to sort of say, well, I didn't know whether I could escort, whether it would be physically possible. So I thought I have to make a digital footprint, whether I like it or not. So that's how I started. So I asked one of the girls on MySpace who worked in Melbourne at the time, who was a stripper, where she got her portfolio from. So I made an appointment, got a portfolio, and it started from there. What I'm trying to say is a shift in momentum.
Which system did you prefer as you've lived through both?
Geez, that's a hard thing. I guess if I was escorting when I started, that would have been a lot easier, because you meet people through that as well. So I think now, if you're starting now for the right reasons, and there's a lot of people out there that are doing it for the wrong reasons, it's a lot easier for you. It's so much easier. It's so fast paced, but you got to be on it all the time. So back when I started, and I know Holly Randell said this in her podcast as well, and if you don't know who Holly Randell is, she's an erotic photographer and daughter of Sis Randell, who I love. Anyway, beside the point of getting distracted, she said it didn't matter whether you had 2 days off from work or a week off. You could afford to have that. But now it's 24/7, bang, 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 all the time. So you've got to have the energy, and I'm running out of energy, but to be on it all the time. Whereas before, it was a bit slower. You could afford to have time off and do longer shoots over 3 or 4 days. Now you got to get a shoot done in 1 day. So it's a different pace altogether.
If you become absent online, do you think you will lose a clientele base, even if that's only 72 hours?
You do. I know for me, and I think it's because I'm restricted. I do a lot of cam performing, and I feel like it's because I'm restricted on what I can do. Then people, and there's so much more competition now that people can move on to other options. So, but if you've got a niche, which I'm still finding after 15 years, you've got those a few loyal fans that will always come back, no matter how much time you take off. They will always come back. So fast paced now that you will lose some. You're bound to lose some. You've just got to keep hustling, and that's how the world is at the moment.
So when did you start camming? And who with?
About 4 years ago. No, Goodness gracious, 6 years ago. What year are we in? It's been a really weird year this
Almost
year.
2021.
I know, it's been a really weird
Horrifying.
year. I know. So, yeah, 2014 I started, and I didn't know what gaming was at that stage. So I was having a lunch with a friend who's kind of well known in the industry, but I won't mention her name. But she said, "Oh, why don't you do camming? That'd be really awesome. Like, that's perfect for you. You can sit, you can talk, because you talk like a motherfucker." And I do. And so I did some research, and I finally found where I can be myself. And if people don't like me, they can leave the room.
Yeah.
And people will come and go, "What the fuck have I just walked into?" Because I do some weird shit, and people are also not prepared to see someone like me on cam either.
Yeah.
Still in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's been a life-changing experience. But before then, I was signing modeling contracts and doing the actual offline hustle, which is really hard to do, as you know. But I'm glad that I found my little home, I suppose, as part of the industry.
Yeah. So would you say camming is your niche? That is what you're most comfortable with?
Okay. Well, the disability part of me would say yes.
Yeah.
The actual spiritual side of me, if that's correct.
So the desire part of where you would like to be.
Yeah. If I had no physical restriction, it would be porn. That would be me. But yeah, with the physical restriction would be camming.
All right. And with the physical restrictions, because of course you're in a wheelchair, so people can see it.
Which I was never used to for a while. It took a while to get my head around.
Yeah. Have you ever had any just people that can't look past that?
Yeah.
And instead of moving past your stream, they decide to stay? Yeah.
So, do you mean as a wheelchair fetish, or what do you mean?
Yeah, either or. I guess any comments that have been made that make you feel a little uncomfortable and that were just uncalled for, so people can be educated as to what not to do, and then we can cover the ideal way to approach with questions about curiosity, because we know you get a lot of those.
We do.
And I think it would be good to let everyone know the correct way to ask these questions that they so desperately feel the need to know. I think would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think the one night I remember, and I don't know why I remember this, but it was very funny. I went online drunk, and you're not meant to do that, so please don't do that. But I did it. Shh, I was learning. And he said to me, "Oh, wow, you look like a horse."
A horse?
A horse. And so when I was young, I used to have really buck teeth. And I used to think I did look like a horse. And so my comment to him was, "Thank you so much, because I don't feel so alone now. I thought I was the only one who thought that." and I was so happy. And he's like, "What the hell? I just called you a horse. Go die, spastic bitch." And I'm like, "No, because I'm now not alone. I feel someone understands me. Thank you so much." And he walked away. But other people who know that I'm in a wheelchair think it's funny just to say, "Stand up. Let's see what happens."
So would that come from your regulars, would you say?
No, they're just randoms that come in and go.
Okay.
They read it and then they go, "Let's ask her to stand up and see what happens."
So just assholes patrolling the internet.
So that used to really upset me.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, "Why are they being so mean?" And they'd also say, "You don't belong here."
Yeah.
All these other girls are, standing up and shaking their ass and spreading the cheeks, and then we've got you. These companies don't deserve you. And I'm like, well, the great thing about the adult industry is there's a place for everyone.
Yes.
There's a fetish for everybody. And I wasn't in the industry for that, but I've since learned that is true.
Yeah.
So if you don't like me, fuck off.
Move
I don't
along.
care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I some nights I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. People hate me. What the hell? So now if someone asks me to stand up, I say, cool, 10,000 tokens, pay my medical bills. I'll be more than happy to stand up for you.
Just
pay
make
me,
sure I'm
yeah.
covered first. Yeah.
Insure me first, and we're all good. But yeah, so now I've seen and heard everything, so it doesn't really get to me. But when I first started, having someone tell you that you don't fit in the industry and you don't belong here, that used to kill me. And it does, and it literally does kill people. So stigma does kill people, and you see it happening, and I'm surprised, pardon me, that I'm still doing it. But I'm here for a reason, and that's to get past all the people that think they're stronger because they're behind a screen.
Yeah.
And it's a barrier so they can do whatever the fuck they want and, ruin people's lives.
Now,
and that's not.
I haven't used any camming websites.
Yep.
I don't really know how they're run. But with all this negativity and hate, I'm assuming you are not the only one that gets it.
No.
Abled, tall, thick, small.
Yep.
Everyone.
Anything.
Yeah. So does the platform have a reporting system?
You can, but because it's digital, and people can make up new accounts, they can't really do much about that.
So clients per se don't have to verify their identity?
Some of them do, and so if they're also a broadcaster but they don't broadcast anymore, they've had to verify.
Yep.
And so I know some sites are working on users having to verify, which would be really good.
Yep. Do you think that would make it safer, and would you be more comfortable working for a camming website that has verified users? Or
I think if I was new
and
knew nothing about it, then
that would...
because no one teaches, or back in my day, no one was there to teach me what to do. So I was just winging it the whole time. But I think if I was brand new in the industry now, that's what I would prefer.
What would you tell a newbie in the industry if they came and asked you for advice? What would be your 5 steps to success?
I think, well, firstly, I'd be asking questions and asking them first, why have they chosen this?
Yep.
And then if they answer these questions with logic, and not just saying, I love sex, so I'm going to get paid for it. Sorry, wrong answer. You're in there to, because you love sex, I love sex, we all love sex. But you've got to inspire people. You want the money, cool, all good. You want to improve yourself. You want to improve that. You want to encourage relationships to thrive. All those things that affect everything that you do, because especially if you do camming, it is a digital footprint that will stay there forever. So if you're in a strip club, like back when I started, so 2005, we still had strip clubs, but we had no social media really attached to that. So you could go, do your shift, go home. Yeah, that's it. But now it's all over. So I know there's some girls that strip, for instance, and don't have social media. So they can still do that, but it's very rare. So I would say, are you prepared for all these things? If you are, then are you able to handle negativity well? If you can't, then maybe rethink your steps. But I would say, have a thick skin, know what you're in here for, know yourself as a person, know your boundaries, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're always going to have down days. I still do. I'm not perfect. But it's going to be highs and lows. So just be prepared for those. And the highs are bloody awesome, but the lows can be bloody awful. But yeah, just be prepared for all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that answer the question? I feel like I rambled.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it does. But
Yeah.
that also brings another question to the table is I know from my dancing days is you had people that would hustle as themselves and you
Ooh.
had people that would hustle as a personality.
Yes.
So
as a persona, you would say.
Yeah, they'd create a more bubbly, fun, flirty, or maybe a bitchy badass,
which isn't
or
them. Yeah.
a total bimbo. And in actual fact,
they're not. Yeah.
No. And I know I've spoken to a lot of guys at work that feel that this is cheating or false advertisement.
Yeah.
And what would you say to those kind of comments?
I reckon, I don't know. Like some girls do that. I've seen the exact same thing, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But most guys, they just want a genuine person.
Yeah.
They want to fulfill their fantasy or their void or whatever it is that they come to see you for. They don't necessarily want fake.
Yeah.
So you can still be not you, but be more genuine about being not you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, when it's overdone, I feel like it's pointless because people can see straight through that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That does.
Yeah. So, I would say I don't agree with it. So I would say be as genuine as you can, but also set up your boundaries. But at the same time, if that's what works for you, if a bubbly, ditzy persona works for you, then do it. I've tried doing that. I'm not good at it. I'm going to admit I'm not good at it. So I've learned to just be me in a more confident me, I suppose. And that's where Mel comes from because, I can't also, be that kind of, I'm not that happy to be able to do that. But
it gets draining when it's not your personality.
I'm happy, don't get me wrong, I'm happy, but I can't be over the top happy when
You can't ooze sunshine out of your ass.
Yeah. Although someone told me this morning that I can do that. Oh. I don't know how I can do that when
Achievement unlocked.
I'm sitting down though. So
extra skill?
Maybe I should be doing more anal scenes. Don't know.
But that could be something to look forward to for our listeners, not viewers. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten the more political nitty-gritties out of it.
I like getting political.
Well, we can always go back to political.
Right.
But let's have the fun questions.
Oh, dear. I work with Lux, so I'm a little bit scared about this section.
What has been your weirdest customer?
Ooh.
Your definition of weirdest customer.
I wouldn't say it's weird, but a guy used to pay me for 45-minute privates.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to speak. He would just sit there and stare. And if I spoke, I get yelled at.
He wouldn't do any stuff with himself?
No, he would just sit there and literally stare into the camera, and I had to stare back at him.
For 45 minutes?
Yep.
That
was,
different one.
It was, and I thought this is only going to be a once-off thing, but it was when I first started.
Yeah.
And I could not, his hands were folded, so I could see that his hands were not touching anything. So that's probably one of my strangest. Another one when I wasn't used to doing penis humiliation. Someone said, "Oh, would you like to do it?" And I was like, how hard could it be?
Give it a go.
Not thinking what I'd see come, So they booked a private, they turned the camera on, and all I could see was this massive dick in laced undies. And I was so not prepared for that. And I should have been, but I was like,
was it like a lace cocksock or like ladies underwear lace? Okay.
Yeah, bright red ladies underwear. Not that I have anything wrong with that, but my brain just wasn't
You weren't
ready.
ready. How long do you see yourself in the industry?
As long as my body lets me. Hopefully that'll be a long time. I've already been in the industry 15 years, so yeah, I hope that physically I'll be able to keep making clips and custom videos and porn for quite a number of years yet. But I know I'll get to the stage where my body will just go, no more, done. So yeah, but I don't think I could totally leave though. I've thought about that and then gone, I can't, because this industry has provided me with so many opportunities that I'd have to get back to that. I couldn't just leave and go, all right, I'm done. So I'd be doing the promoting, the advocacy, and all this other stuff. So I think I would stop performing, but being a part of the industry, I'll probably till I'm 80. Until my dying day, I'll be there. Quite often now I hang my G-strings on the wall. I'm being known to put my G-strings on my head because I don't fit anymore. So I'll probably be driving around in my chair with the G-string on my head when I'm 80. That'll be me.
Just embracing
Yeah.
the industry for what it's worth.
Yeah. And giving back to that and sort of saying, well, thank you. But I know some girls have left and gone, I'm never coming back because of whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be like that. So
you found a family and a community, not just a job.
No, exactly. So, and I found you and I employed her.
Yes.
Best decision I ever made. And now we're doing this.
I guess industries within the sex working industry.
Yeah.
That
facets of the industry, I think is what you're trying to say.
That would be it. Are there any you want to try and haven't yet?
Whew.
Or are there even any that you definitely won't want to go near? No, I'm a whore. You're a whore?
I'm a whore. No, look, I think, shoving zucchinis on my asshole might be something, and I will stick to the butt plugs. Note that down for next week, by the way. But no, I dom work interests me. A whole lot of it, just because it interests me because of the psychology behind it. So what gets people ticking and what gets people off is what, it really interests me. So I don't think anything would scare me and go,
So what about swingers parties? Something that is a big part of the sex community, but wouldn't necessarily be classified as sex work.
Yeah, right. There's so much I want to say to that one too. Because of COVID, swingers parties have stopped. So before COVID, I was going to start because I was like, this could be a thing. And you meet people, and as long as you're safe, you meet people. You never know what might happen. I don't agree with the swingers who do it negatively and want to exploit people. I've had that experience as well. Someone came up to me, and I hope they're listening, who said, I can cure cerebral palsy, which is what I've got, with sex and sound waves. All you have to do is do an interview with me. And so I was like, you're a wanker, but I want to see where this goes because you're interesting me. Yep. You're a wanker, but, you never know. So, and it ended up a nasty situation. But they also wanted to, I'm a full service sex worker as well. So they wanted to use my license to be able to operate a swingers party and do like a 6-guy gangbang on me and make it legal. Not too happy about that. So I was like, I know what you're doing, and no. So I'm not against swinging at all, but do it properly, and I'll respect you. Do it the wrong way, and you're an asshole.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's a grey area, and I think a lot of more people need to be safe in that area if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be something that I'd be interested in doing safely and legally, not illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would be your safety tips for someone who might not be very well versed in the industry but wants to attend a swingers party, or even wants to go on an online, meet someone online and wants to catch up with them? What are some things that you would consider
So you're
first before
talking
meeting
about
a stranger?
online dating, or are you talking about sugar baby, or what?
Anything. I think they all kind of fall into the same category, ones with money, ones without. And a lot of the times online dating actually has more dangers behind it than a service.
Yeah, I would say do your research, watch for the signs of how people respond to you before you meet up with them, and learn to know what those signs mean. I mean, if you're not worldly, you're not going to know, which is the scariest part.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can ask around, you don't have to tell people what you're doing if you're not comfortable with that, but just say what would this mean, or it's I don't know, like what would you think? I'm gonna pass it on to you because that's a difficult question. Because you're younger than me, so.
Online dating, I think, is a pretty standard one. It's advertised a lot with your safety tips. And I guess this goes for sugaring as well. Never communicate off platform.
Yeah.
If anything happens to the platform you're using, whether it's a sugaring one or a dating one, they will maintain and hold all the information, and the police can get access to that very easily.
They've got more of a safety net than a camming website.
But if you talk to someone on a dating website and then move to Facebook, and that's when you arrange you want to meet up, and something happens, then that information will never become public knowledge nor accessible.
That's true.
Of course, meet in a public place at least the first time.
Yeah.
Let someone know where you're going.
Always let somebody, even if you're going to see an escort, I would always say, let somebody know that you trust where you're going.
Yeah, and I say that also works as in if you're a private escort, if you have someone you can trust, let them know someone's coming to you or you're heading to an apartment.
For sure.
When, where, how long it's going to approximately be, and if it gets extended.
Yes, for sure. See, you've got more words than I do. But yeah, I totally agree. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're a worker, you should have those safety measures in place as well. Even if you're, it doesn't matter which side of the transaction or date you're on.
Yeah.
You need to both have those safety mechanisms in place, whatever works for you. Yeah. But make sure you do. If you don't, then that's asking for trouble, I think.
Yes, I know. I always turn my phone location on so my best friend and only her has it visible.
Yes.
So just in case something does happen, there is someone that has my location at all times.
That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could actually do that.
Yeah.
You'll have to teach me later.
Yes, it's a handy one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that would be really handy for anyone, for workers or non-workers, and just going on dates. I think that's really great. There you go.
Covers your ass.
Literally. In safety, not body fluids. Yes, continue before I go tangent.
Go into a really gross.
Yeah, because
place.
I do like talking about body fluids, but.
So is there a body fluid fetish you're hiding from the rest of the world, or
possibly? Yeah.
Possibly.
I wouldn't say hiding because my ass is on me all the time with covered things. Yeah, I would say so. It's when if you've ever heard of Nina Hartley when she's being interviewed, it's always about curiosity, and it's the same with me. Like you don't have to worry about impressing anybody. When you go on set, you know what you're there for. Have a ton of fun doing it. And you're done. There's no, I wonder if she likes me. I wonder if he likes me. He doesn't like me.
You just go out there, own it, doesn't matter, they'll love you.
You don't have to worry about all that shit.
Yeah.
And when I heard her say that once, I was like, that's me. I don't know when someone's cracking on to me.
Yeah.
So, it cuts out all the bullshit. For me, I'm just like, cover my tits, I don't care.
So live, breathe, eat, and shit confidence would be the live, laugh, love wall motto type thing.
Yes.
Imagine having that in your living room.
Can we do that?
Live, eat, shit confidence in cursive writing.
Yeah.
Sure, we could make it work.
Come with confidence.
Oh my.
That's me. That's me.
Right above the bed so someone would be staring at it?
Yes.
Just for some extra motivational support?
Yes.
Escorting cards.
Melinah Viking.
Come with confidence.
I love it.
I think we're onto something there.
Yeah. Well, when I came up with this brand, too, I was like, I don't know what my slogan would be.
Well, there we go.
So I didn't have one I've been in this brand, 2 years now, and I don't have a slogan till now. Come with I like it.
And what inspired this brand?
I got outed by some people who lived around me in the same apartment complex.
Yeah.
And they did not believe that someone with a disability should be in the industry, and how dare I even think about doing that.
And what would you say to those people?
You nearly got what you wanted, but I'm like here now, but don't judge people.
Yeah.
If they make a decision, if you're concerned, and I'm not hurting anybody, so what? Was it their business? I don't work from home. You're not allowed to work from home except when you're camping. Why is it their business?
Yeah.
So, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you should be able to do what you want to do, and you're doing it legally. So I thought, what is a strong fuck you name that I could come up with, because I'm always going to be Melinah, that does not change. But yeah, Viking, I was watching Vikings on TV, and I was like, that kind of works.
It flows nice.
I've never been creative with names. So, Jenna Jameson was named after Jameson whiskey.
Yep.
I didn't want to be Melinah Malua. Well, that was that green shit.
Cool. Oh no, Midori.
Melinah Midori. It wasn't gonna work. So but Viking kind of flowed. And like I said earlier, if people don't like me,
find your own business.
That's their own. Yeah, the industry is so big now. There is something or someone for everybody. So, and I find it really difficult because I know I'm strong enough to deal with anything that comes at me, almost. But I'd hate it for people not to be able to cope just because they can see me coping and then try and then fall. So I'd hate to have. I'd feel that as a responsibility on me. That was my fault. That's why I've never become a psychologist, because I'd always take it home with me.
Yeah.
But I would say do your research as much as you can. Ask questions. I'm always able to, around to answer questions.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can. If you're feeling it gives you some form of freedom, like it does with me, then I'd say go for it.
Do you think there should be a support network for disabled sex workers or differently abled?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't start it, that's why I'm saying possibly.
Would you like there to be one?
Yeah, I think there is, because there's many disabilities that aren't visual.
Yep.
That workers have. So maybe they could fall into that category as well and find it useful. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. As long as it's not me, because I don't have the wherewithal.
So someone out there listening, please start up this group.
Someone named possibly Fiona Patton, but we won't go there. I love you, darling, by the way. But yeah, she's gonna kill me now that I said that. But So as long as it's not me, not that I'm against it, but I just don't have the wherewithal to and the resources. But I'd be happy to help start. But
One final question.
Oh,
but
dear.
there's so many more. What would be a good one? They gotta know who they're listening to.
Yeah.
So
I think I might invite you back for round 2.
I think we could do that.
I'm just hoping to inspire people and change their perception of disability, I suppose, to a positive one.
Yep.
That's the proper answer. I was
With a bit of sex.
Yeah, and sex, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Change the world with sex, and we don't want love in there.
Love of sex.
Yeah.
Love of the anatomy. And love of butt plugs. On that note, I will definitely invite you, Lexi, to come back again for another episode because I think we could just chat fucking ever, really. And
I'd say so.
I feel like chatting to you.
That's good. I like chatting to you. So,
I do.
Whew, otherwise, I might not be here.
And you do have a very good technique in wiping my butt. We'll go further into that in the next episode, I think. But thank you, darling. It's been lovely.
Yes,
and
you too.
And no one can find you anywhere.
No, here, once in a while.
Through me, yes.
Yes.
So if you love the sound of Lexi's voice, email me and I will sort something out. And we'll see you for part 2 of this amazing, weird conversation.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Remember, you can also follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at Melinah Viking, and check out my website, my.bio/Melinah Viking, and you can buy my videos, watch me live, and so much more. Thanks for joining us today, guys, and I look forward to bringing you the next Margarita Sessions.